guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to check out the new Int Yamcha versus the Metal Cooler Core. So this is the hardest red zone boss in the game that Yamcha is actually going to be able to dodge against, right? Because the debate still rages on, I guess you could say, about whether the hardest boss is Broly or the Metal Cooler Core, and obviously Metal Cooler Core is the only one we can actually dodge. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. So I want to get Yamcha built up as much as possible before we get to the core. So I'm not going to put him in slot 1 here. I want him to get at least a little bit of his extra stats before he starts, you know, potentially fumbling the dodge. Hey, there's God Goku dodging the super attack. Let's go. So the big thing about Yamcha, especially after doing the 55% showcase yesterday, is that if you have him at 55%, it's going to be very dangerous putting him in slot 1 against some of these harder bosses, right? And the Metal Cooler Core specifically, because even the normal attacks from the Metal Cooler Core are going to do so much damage to this Yamcha if he doesn't dodge, that it's going to be a little bit scary. So we're going to have to see what we can do. Don't tell me he's not going to dodge the super. There you go. 3 for 3. That's what we like to see. See, that's the kind of RNG you want with your Yamcha. Now, the friend that I've brought for this one is Rainbow. So he is the one that we're going to have on the first rotation against the Metal Cooler Core. So I think I probably will. What's the rotation? Ooh, we have Gohan, who they share a few links, and we have the support from Piccolo. I think I will put him in slot 1 actually here, because then if he can at least dodge one of the attacks, that's going to give him the chance for the extra super, and then yeah, we have the possibility to get decently built up, ready for the core. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and grab these, and then we can grab these for Piccolo. Perfect. Okay, Yamcha, we need to see them dodge it. Bruh, okay, good. Alright, at least we got one. So 4.5 is his first attack stat. Remember, he's building up, is it 30% attack and defense with each super performed as part of his passive? So there's the additional, jumps up to 6.2. Now remember, with the best RNG, we can super 4 times in one turn. So there you go, jumped up to 8. I mean, these are the turns where Yamcha can look pretty good, right? And remember, each of these supers gives him an extra 10% dodge chance as well. So we actually did get the 4 attack turn. Just unfortunately, the hidden potential was a normal. And then he didn't dodge. Are you kidding me? He built up an extra 30% dodge chance by doing 3 supers, and then didn't dodge the super. Wow. So there you go. You can see right there, that's a perfect example. That is Yamcha's main weakness. Like, imagine if that was my 55% one, we'd be dead. So, unfortunate, but I guess that is what it is. That's the kind of turn where if we're, you know, if that was the actual Metal Cooler Core, then it would have just been GG. So, a little bit unfortunate, but what can you do? So, tank these nicely from Piccolo, and then we go into this is the last turn. It's a shame we had this guy on the final turn, because I would ideally like him to get hit as many times as possible, but I guess we're just going to have to float him off now. So, yeah, we'll grab these for you, these for you. Yeah, we've got quite a few same type orbs. Man. A little bit shy on the key. I mean, imagine getting 10 key for LR and still not getting 24 key. Unfortunate. So that's the unfortunate thing about having STR Carnival Goku on turn 3. Because STR Carnival Goku is really, really good for the Metal Cooler Core fight. Because in these first 3 turns against the Metal Cooler army, they attack so many times. And you can't kill them early. You have to fight them for 3 turns. So if you get STR Carnival Goku on the first rotation, as long as you don't float him off, you get 2 turns against the Metal Cooler army where he's potentially going to be able to take a ton of attacks. And then Yamcha eats the super again and we die. Great. So, I mean, there you go. That is the downside to Yamcha with the dodge RNG. So, let's jump back in. Okay, so we managed to get through the Metal Cooler army without getting tagged by a super attack this time. So, definitely going a little bit better on this run. So, the big question when you're using Yamcha, I guess, is always going to come down to, do I put him in slot 1 or not? Now, he does have 585k here, I remember someone telling me when, I think it was when we were doing the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock video, someone was telling me I think a Super Int unit needs to get up to, it's either 600 or 650k raw defense to be able to tank the Metal Cooler Core for double-digit damage. So Rainbow Yamcha here, having quite a decent amount of his build-up and support from the STR Piccolo, does have the almost enough defense, right? So if the first attack is a normal and he doesn't dodge, he's not going to get destroyed. The only problem is, of course, that if the first attack is a super and he doesn't dodge, then we are just dead, right? And there's nothing I can do about it, like we just die. So I'm going to take the risk. We're going to believe in Yamcha. You know, maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe we have to come back into the event for the 3rd time. But let's see what happens. So, of course he did. Oh my god. There you go. So this is the disappointing thing about using Yamcha. The first attack was a super. We didn't dodge. 1.8 million damage. Good stuff. Okay, well, here we are, back to the core one final time. This is attempt number 3 for the day, so obviously if all goes horribly wrong here, then it's just GG. This is one of those things, I do like Yamcha. I mean, I like his design, right? I talked about this in the 55% video yesterday, but I do like these showcases to be realistic examples of like what happens when you actually use the, oh my god, when you actually use the unit, right? Because I've had people ask me before, like, why do you show runs against these big red zone bosses where you don't actually beat the stage and you die? And it's like, you know, that's a realistic example of what happens when you use the unit sometimes. And honestly, I went into this recording session today with some high hopes of getting some really good clips of Yamcha, you know, dodging every single attack and just looking like an absolute Chad. And unfortunately, this is the 3rd attempt. You guys have seen how well, quote unquote, the first 2 went. Honestly, a little bit disappointing. Like seeing these kind of numbers and stuff that he's taking. I mean, I know, obviously, you know, I've used the unit before, did the 55% showcase, I've used him on JP. I know how he works, right? If you don't dodge in slot 1, you're gonna take a lot of damage. But like, that basically means from what we're seeing from this fight, that, oh, there you go. From what we're seeing from this fight, like, Yamcha's basically going to be unusable against Broly, because he can't dodge at all. Yeah, I just, man, honestly very disappointed. That's all 3 attempts of the Metal Cooler Core done. Him not dodging that one attack in slot 1, we took so much damage. I think that was my 55% one, right? Because on the second clip where we died from the frame 1 super attack, we wouldn't have taken that much damage from a normal. But bear in mind as well, that Rainbow Yamcha friend that I was using for these runs had a full dodge build as well. So this is why when I was saying in yesterday's video, like, if you're on the fence about summoning for Yamcha, especially if you're somebody who's free to play or doesn't really spend very much, I would absolutely say you just skip this banner, right? Like, this guy, he can be good, but, you know, I know this is an event where the hardest boss, he has type disadvantage, but, like, we saw him getting torn up by the Metal Cooler army. Like, I'm going to do a video of him versus Cell Max, where I obviously expect him to be a lot better, but at the same time, like, if he gets supered in slot 1 and doesn't dodge, like, he's still going to take a ridiculous amount of damage, and chances are the 55% one will just straight up die to that. So, man, it's disappointing, because like I say, I kind of wanted this to be one of those videos where it's like, wow, look at Yamcha absolutely going crazy, look how good he is. And unfortunately, with a unit whose almost entire defensive prowess is based on dodge RNG, sometimes you are just going to have very bad luck, and when you are doing events that only have limited time attempts per day, that's not a very good combination. So let me know what you guys think down below. You know, I'm sure somebody out there, you know, it is RNG based, I'm sure someone watching this video even took Yamcha against Metal Cooler Core, dodged every single attack, and your team absolutely danced all over the event and, you know, whooped his ass. But unfortunately, that is not what happened here today. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.